Tamaki Makaurau, Auckland, Aotearoa's largest city, the home of the 36 Americas Cup and the picturesque Waitemata Harbour. As we travel south, following the mighty Waikato River, we come to a racetrack called Hampton Downs. This weekend, New Zealand's best drifters head into town. The racetrack owned by Tony Quinn, recently purchasing Tokyo International Motorsport Park, the venue for our first two rounds of the 2022 season. Hampton Downs, the place for pace with the Toyota Gazoo Racing Series. But this weekend, round 3 of the Valvoline D1NZ National Drifting Championship Series.
The D1NZ competition format sees 3 judging officials take the helm in race control, overlooking the 3 major scoring criteria: line, angle and style. Together they form a score out of 100. Line is a predetermined racing line the drivers need to navigate. This is marked out by scoring areas called clipping points. Drivers need to hit these scoring zones to score a maximum of 35 points for each pass. Angle is how much rear slip angle a car produces. Each driver has 35 points available for maintaining as much angle as possible throughout the drift course. Style is a combination of throttle control, handbrake application, car speed, and the overall fluidity of each run, with 30 points up for grabs. Teams have 2 laps in qualifying to start the competition. The driver with the best score takes pole position, with the top 8 drivers securing a spot in the top 16. From here, the competition moves into the battle phase, forming a seeded battle tree, battling through the top 16, the top 8, the top 4, and through to the finals. The battle phase of the competition sees each driver scored on a lead and chase run. The lead driver's objective is to set or better their performance in qualifying, while the chase driver's objective is to get as close as possible to the leading car, using it as a mobile clipping point. The chase driver needs to emulate or better the lead car's run while also maintaining the original scoring criteria. The 3 judging officials will then decide the winner by a majority decision. If it's a draw, they'll call an OMT, where the cars will battle one more time for sudden death. Drivers also need to be mindful of penalties while competing out on the track. Points deductions are handed out for 1 or 2 wheels off track, spinning out, straight lining the course, or making contact with the walls or the other car. One thing's for certain though, rubbing is racing. Each driver has 1 competition timeout available to use during the battle phase of the competition. This can only be used once and gives teams a chance at servicing their car in pit lane, and that is how it's done for the Valvoline D1NZ Drifting Championship Series.
One of the most crucial factors of drifting, the judges, who are respected and engage with the current drivers. Now, it's not an easy task, and stepping up to the plate are these fine men. Mark O'Hara out of Christchurch. He's been drifting for 14 years and returning for his 3rd year with D1NZ. Mark is the line judge. He's got 35 points out of 100 up for grabs. 2-time Drift South champion Joel Counter and another Christchurch driver with 8 years under the belt and a former pro driver in D1NZ also has 35 points to dish out, but his role? Angle. The newcomer to 2022 is none other than the iconic New Zealand drifting veteran Stephen Soul. 15 years of D1NZ pro driving, he's also ventured to the birthplace of drifting, Japan's Ibisu circuit, where he placed 3rd overall in the G1 GP Championship. Stephen has 30 points for style. Very fitting for one of the most flamboyant D1NZ drivers to date.
Well, here we go. We've got the championship leaderboard. Jace Brown coming up with 178. Taylor James in 2nd. Fangadan Woolhouse in 3rd. Tight behind him with Adam Davies. Then the newcomer, Sean Potros, in there. Cody Pullenberry right on his door. Ben Jenkins in there too. And Dave Stedman taking out the top 8 drivers here in the championship. Well, here we go. We're at Hampton Downs. As you can see, there's only 2 corners through this. But the guys have put out 5 different zones. There's a big decel zone, so they enter off to the start. flick to the right, weight transfer into a decel zone, slow the car down as they try and tuck the nose in. Now the judges are wanting them to come around the corner a little bit more in zone 2 before they come up over the crest to clipping point 4, where they're then going to push so far and so deep to get to that outer zone 5. It is a easy track, but they've made it very technical, so very good to see out there today how these guys are going to drive with these weather conditions. It's going to be a tricky one. But here we go, we've got the top 16 bracket coming up. Kurt Blackie versus Dave Steadman, Jordan Joyce versus David Hunter, Cody Pullenberry versus Tully Pucky, Jesse Greenslade versus Troy Jenkins, well that's going to be a goodie. Taylor James, Sean Potros, another big one, Ben Jenkins and Jace Brown, Adam Davies versus Danum Templeman and Banger Dan.
Well, I'm ready for battles. Are you ready for battles? I think it's time to bring it. Let's go upstairs with Cole and Andrew. Yes.
Yes, it's going to be awesome with the TTI top 16 here. We've got Jordan Joyce versus David Hunter. Two young fellas stepping up, both from the Pro Sport Series, now into the Pro, so going to be a good battle. I know Brian tunes both of these cars. Look at David there, very shallow on the entry there, trying to get the drive, but Jordan doing a really good line through the center section. Smooth, a lot of angle, but look at David Hunter right up on the door there, but really making it messy for himself. That's what I was talking about the other day, actually, where you could have left foot brake.
So we can see them at the Valvoline start line once again, waiting for their turn. Got Jordan Joyce, chase driver this time, and David Hunter going to be leading them off. So Jordan Joyce getting a little bit of a jump initially there, but he's dropped him behind, as we want to see. And Dave there with a big initiation. Great start
yeah,
from there.
Hard, leaving a bit of gap there from Jordan Joyce. Obviously a bit hesitant to try and get right up on the door of David Hunter, but look at him going. He's really using that borrowed car to the maximum potential he could.
That was a really, really solid lead run there. Here's the judge's decision. Which way is it going to go? One more time. One more time. So we can see the boys lined up again. David Steadman there with that fantastic run. Fastest qualifier, best qualifier, shall I say.
Yeah, we're not circuit racing here,
no,
brother.
We're not. No, we're not.
Here he goes. Dave throws it in nicely, rotates the angle. Look at Kurt Blackie getting right up on the rear quarter there of Dave Steadman. Kurt Blackie putting the pressure on, coming through the midsection, but a real clean run there by Dave, opening the door up, really allowing Kurt to come up onto that inner quarter there. Kurt Blackie is going to lead out Dave Steadman. Now, if I was Dave's spotter, I'd probably be like, watch out for this entry. Kurt seems to be struggling a little bit there as Launchmaster Willie sets them off as he initiates here. So look at Dave not giving him an inch. Oh, Kurt really getting it out on that entry there. Wow, throwing a lot of angle through there, making it a little bit messy for him. A few corrections.
A little bit far off that clipping point as well. Dave Steadman very, very close. He's had a wheel drop from him in the background there.
That was a bit of a wheel drop. The boys were pumped on that run there. Threw it up over the centre ripple there. You see both the cars jump up in the air.
Here's the result. How are we looking? Unanimous. Dave Steadman gets the win. Makes his way into the top 8. So here we go, Cody Pullenberry versus
Tully Pucky.
Tully Pucky. They're into it.
Cody's been driving really well here, but both of them enter very nice and smoothly. Look through that section. Cody putting it in nicely on that inner clip there, and Tully sort of sitting with them, but just washed out a little bit wide as he came up over the hill. Cody getting a good drive out of that section.
Lead driver this time, we have Tully Pucky and Cody Pullenberry chasing behind. So they take off. Cody getting a little bit of a jump there. Knows he needs to pull back in behind. He's going to chase really close here. Let's see how we go. Nice and close. Good entry from behind, from the back there. And Tully Pucky very, very wide. Very close to some contact there. So lucky they didn't make contact. And Cody just needs to make a nice clean finish to his run. I think we know the result from that one. but we'll wait for the results to properly come through for us. Cody Fullenbury takes it through into the next round. Next two, leave the D1NZ Valvoline start line here. Back into
the one more time
between David Hunter and Jordan Joyce. One more time. Very, very close on the proximity there for David Hunter. Great chase run here.
Oh, big contact. David Hunter pushing it really hard there in the borrowed car, I might add. You could see as he come up through that centre section, David coming in with a lot of pace. I know he's got those Zek Nova tyres on there, rotating the angle, real good simulation between one another, comes through the centre section. Look at the drive, car straightened up a little bit on him.
As soon as he got that curve, wasn't it? That's where the car just got unsettled, straightened up and straight into the back side of Jordan Joyce there.
Going to be a very interesting battle on this one, mate.
It really will be an interesting battle. I've seen you give you a pep talk to Jesse here, ready to get going. About to put the headphones on, have a bit of a chat to him while he's at it. Be interesting to see what Cole has to say along the side here. But lead driver, Jesse Greenslade, gets underway. But Troy Jenkins in behind.
Yeah, entering into the section, rotating to angle really nicely. Troy right up on the inside there, missing the line. Jesse tucking back up on the inside, getting to that outer zone, driving into that real outer clip there, but not too bad of a run there.
Yeah, decent run, decent lead run there for Jesse.
So let's see how they go out here. Troy Jenkins leads out Jesse Greenslade, so hopefully he does what I sort of say, give him a bit of a gap. Troy doing what he needs to, throwing it into the first section here. Tucking up on the inside there, driving up nicely.
Troy a bit wide out of that first.
Yeah, and missed that outer zone there, giving Jesse a little bit of room through that area. A little bit of a mistake. He probably could have taken off a half a car length to a car length there. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what the judges call on this one. Obviously, a few mistakes to one another, but good to see Jesse Greenslade gets the win. Taylor James in the Zoo Performance is 14. There's Sean Potros in the Worthington Towing and Transports is 15.
This is just going to be a survival round, isn't it? To no mistakes is absolute key.
Look how much slower they're going. Wow, rotates the angle heavily. Look at Sean tucking right up on the rear door there of Taylor James. These drivers are doing so well for these slippery conditions. As they come up over the centre section, look how slow they're going.
Huge change compared to last time. Obviously no tyre smoke there. They come up towards the finish. Great run by both drivers there. Great
run by both drivers right there. It really goes to show the skill that these guys have. And look at Sean taking off really quickly into this first section, but Taylor leaving a little bit of a gap.
Yeah,
look at the correction there.
Back there.
Big correction there by Sean, really allowing now Taylor to suck up onto the rear quarter there. Taylor's got to be careful he doesn't come up on the inside too much there, but doing a real good job. Look at that by Taylor James. Awesome battle by both of those drivers in tricky conditions.
Very, very tricky conditions.
Would not like to be one of the judges, but we have a result.
Which way is this going to go? Sean Potros. Sean Potros takes the win.
We'll grab the next battle up here with David Hunter and Jordan Joyce as they go for their last part of the one more time battle out here.
Great to see both cars back up and running again. David Hunter leading away here.
He is so keen. Look at him throwing it into the section. He hasn't done a lap out here. Has a huge bobble moment. The camera wasn't even ready for him. He was that far ahead, but
Completely different conditions this time. See him sliding around. David Hunter there managing to keep that lead run, but very wide. Missed that first clipping point. How is this going to unfold?
yeah, I would think on this one, 1, 2, 3 for Jordan Joyce.
Well, only 3 more battles to the top 8. Let's go back out on track.
The Valvoline start line, Jenkins leading us away with Jace Brown chasing in behind. Changing conditions, talk us through it here, Cole.
Yeah, we can see a slight puff of smoke there, right through that centre section. So look at that now. The track's dried out again. The conditions are so telling for these guys. Rotated angle massively for Jace over the backside, but he really hesitated coming up into that section. What was he going to feel?
So Ben Spotters will be in his ear saying, there might be some issues here for Jace, just be very, very careful. He is obviously the lead driver here. So as Jace Brown takes off out of the Valvoline start line there for his lead run.
Yeah, it's a tough one, you know, because the spotter doesn't want to get in Ben's ear too much to be like, yeah, and then next minute like this, Jace actually does a good clean run and pulls away from him. So
He did straighten up a little bit there. That initiation into the right-hander, into the Century Batteries turn 1 there. Did straighten up.
yeah, a little bobble, but I think Ben's done a good enough chase run behind Jace there. Here we go, the judges have a decision here. 1, 2, 3 for Ben Jenkins, taking the win. Yeah, look at that, the sun's out again, the conditions are changing. But here we go, Adam Davies leading out, Danum Templeman. We'll see how these guys go here. A lot of grip here, look at Danum. Adam hasn't even initiated there, so really, in that situation, this is going to be interesting to see because Adam really hindered Danum, who was in behind there.
He really did. You could see how much Danum had to really check the car up. You know, he was in a nice slide, about to come to the inside, and then just the way the car straightened up, he was trying to check it up so much.
Yeah, it's a little bit greasier, but I think if we go and throw too much grip into the car, it may really hinder it a little bit.
Yeah, as we see, Danum Templeman leading away for this run. Had to check up earlier, the other run.
A little bit of a bobble there again for Adam as he comes into the section. A real clean run. Up over the hill, pushing hard, getting out to that outer zone.
Here we go. Which way? Who's going to get the result here? Danum Templeman.
It is so difficult out there. They either want dry or wet, so it's putting a lot of pressure on the drivers. This here is going to be an action-packed battle. We got Fangadan, a very set veteran in the RTR Century Batteries Mustang versus James McManaway in the JDM S15 V8 power. But look at Fanga. Setting the car up really wide, transferring nicely through the midsection, a lot of angle. And look at James just really struggling through that centre section, showing there's a lot of grip, hey?
Yeah, amazing. Once that track dries out, it's like he sort of was trying to stay straight to stay on the door, but obviously didn't have that slide on. Starting on the opposite line this time here, James McManaway, lead driver this time. Fangadan taking off right in behind him, that beautiful looking Century Batteries Mustang. Great to see Century Batteries back on board.
Yeah, a little bit of a gap there, pulled away there, but Finger rolling in with a nice lot of speed through there. James showing the pace, so look at that S15, pull away up and over the hill. A little bit of a mistake there, but just holy Toledo, he pulled away coming up there. The Mustang just didn't have the grip that James's did, and you obviously seen that obviously in the lead run as well, where James had a lot of issues behind Fanger. So 1, 2, 3, Fangadan Woolhouse gets the win. Coming up to the side now of Dave Steadman, sitting there waiting to take away our first top 4 Top 8. What am I up to? Century Battery.
We're just so
top
excited.
8.
We want to get to the top 4.
Well, they're into it. Here we go. Let's see how it goes down here. They're going to be coming in here, flat tack, into this first weight transfer. Switching it out there. Dave doing a real nice job there. Rotating the car to angle really nicely. Pulling a bit of a gap there on Jordan Joyce. Look at him getting on throttle. Dave doing an epic lead run right here. Pulling a big gap here on Jordan Joyce. Running wide to that outer zone.
What a run.
What a run.
A lead run for Dave Steadman there. Here we go. Jordan Joyce versus Dave Steadman. Jordan Joyce leading us away.
Yeah, he is throwing it in there. A little bit slower. Look, Dave nearly getting caught out there, but did very well to tuck up on the inside, rotate back, diving right up on that rear corner of Jordan Joyce there. A little bit messy there from Dave. Getting a little bit held up. Jordan a little bit slower, but he gets it back up and runs it into that outer zone. Jordan doing a nice lead run, I have to say it. What do we got? Mark O'Hara, Joel Counter, Steve Soul, 1, 2, 3. Dave Steadman gets the win. Good confidence booster there for Jordan. He drove really well, but here we go for our next battle. Cody Pullenberry versus Jesse Greenslade out here. Now Cody's been driving really, really well. Jesse getting up on the inside. Wow, doing a nice job tucking up into the back there, wanting to get that drive down. Look at the nose getting up on the inside there. Cody doing a real good lead run, setting the outside of the car for Jesse to tuck up on the inside. Nice driving by both those boys.
Really clean
good
run
driving
by both drivers there. Jesse Greenslade.
Yeah, bit of info going on there now. The guys reckon it's a little bit wet. You can see right now a bit of hesitation here. Hopefully Jesse will come in the same as he's been doing all day long. Slows the car up really nicely. Good hesitation through that centre section there. Washes a little bit wide. Bit wet through that section there. You can obviously see as they run up over there, these guys doing very well. Look at the look on Cody Pullenberry's car. Holy wow!
Wow,
that was a tricky run right through there. Obviously the rain had come down. I gave Jesse the wrong information on that one. Surely you would have to factor the conditions. It's so hard to have out here. So let's see what they've got. They've got Steve Soul, Jesse Greenslade. 1, 2, 3.
Whoa.
It's a one more time for both of these guys. Let's see how they go here. We've got Sean Potros versus Ben Jenkins as Ben leads out Sean into this first section, grabbing the handbrake. Coming up that centre section, doing a nice job. Look, Ben's getting a lot of smoke off that car. He's staying on the line. That line's dried out a little bit again.
Yeah, nice lead run there for Ben.
What would you do in a rainy day, circuit racing? You're trying to keep temp in the fronts, and it's raining. Would you ride the brakes?
All through the brakes.
See,
build the temperature up.
Something we could learn from that.
There you go. As these boys, Sean Potros leading away, lead driver here with Ben Jenkins in behind.
Dead right, Sean throwing it out there, getting nice and sideways. Wow, is there some more rains come through there? Contact! Sean has been able to hold the car. A bit of damage on that outer zone, but the rain, look at the rain coming down. Sean's going off track. Is this going to be a 0-0 for both drivers?
He managed to keep it on track though. He didn't actually go off track in the end there. So, will that end up being a 0? Wow. The Sean Potros guys, they're clapping. They think they've got the result. We'll wait for the results and see what happens.
They're right, a tricky one for the drivers out there, but a big contact for Ben Jenkins. So 1, 2, 3, Sean Potros gets the win. Here we go, we got Banger Dan versus Danum Templeman. Two veterans of the sport showing their skills to be able to adapt. Look at the dampness now as they just coast into the centre section. Danum doing really, really well. Look, they even got to that inside clip there as they come up over the hill. Great driving by both of these drivers. Banger throwing some massive angle over the top of the hill there. Andrew, what a good battle and a good bit of driving by both these drivers.
Danem Templeman will be leading them off this time with Fangadan in behind. Is Fangadan going to take it to him? Right up on the door.
Look, see, a little bit of anticipation. Knows Danem can be quite fast out of the section. Fanga's down on power, like you've been saying, but Danem needs to remember, very wet, very greasy. Look on the brake, trying to hold the car up. Wow, they're carrying a lot of speed, both of them. You can see that from a mile away. Danem Templeman went out like a rocket ship, and look at that, Fangadan out on the skatey stuff, holding it together. Bit of a messy run there, but Danem Templeman, wow, did he come in like a rocket ship? Danem Templeman coming back down here. We've got a judge's score, 1, 2, 3. Fangadan gets the win. Century Batteries top 8, the final battle of the top 8 here. Jesse Greenslade leading out over Cody Pullenberry, going a little bit more tentative through the centre section. But right here, knows he needs to get on the clip. Look at Cody tucking in really nicely, but you don't get to tuck in like that unless there's a good lead run coming through the inside there. Jesse getting on the inside. Cody running a wheel over the inside clip there, pushing out wide, and oh, it snapped on him very hard. He will be spewing about that.
Fantastic run for him right up to that point there. That snap, it just happened so fast. Which way is this going to go?
1, 2, 3, Cody Pullenberry will take the win on that. We have one of the veterans in the sports, Fangadan, going up against one of the new young guns, Sean Potros, for the top 4 battle.
We're into the Link ECU top 4 battle. Daniel Woodhouse leading us away. Sean Potros in behind, the young gun. Who's going to win? The old dog versus the young gun.
That's it. Look at Banger throwing it in here nicely in that Mustang. Holding it up nicely. Look at the angle. Bit of a bobble there from Sean. Banger looking smooth through this section. Rotates the angle massively as they come up over the top of the hill, but that V8 power just able to keep that car nice and steady, and that just shows the experience from Fanger, just adapting so quickly. Hopefully here we will see some real pressure from Fangadan. Look at him right up the back there of Sean Potros. Enters it into this section, grabs the handbrake. Sean doing a nice big entry into this first section. Fanger getting right up on the inside there, really able to use that V8 Mustang car. Look at Sean really pulling away in that last sector there. Nice lead run there by Sean Potros, and Fanger trying to hold it back.
Just taps him at the end of the run. Wow. Lucky the judges aren't watching back there.
That is a good bit of driving, action-packed here for the top 4 battles. So there's Sean, throws big angle into that first section. Fanger right up on the inside there, just drops a wheel. A little bit of a waver through that centre section, but keeping the proximity here, and then look at Sean, just gathers that grip up and drives away. Fanger pulling it back in that last bit of the section, but bit of a tricky one on that one. This is a tight battle.
We don't have a result yet. Which way is this going to go?
But here we go. One more time. What's Steve Soul saying? 2 to Fangadan Woolhouse. Wow, what a tight battle.
What are these conditions like? You know, you're at that point there at the Valvoline start line. It's quite shaded where that bridge is. It's quite hard to see what the track actually looks like at that point. So, you know, you're firing into a corner. You don't really know what grip levels you've got.
Yeah, you did right there. And obviously, look at this. Bit of contact straight away on the start there. Not ideal there for Cody coming into the first section, but look, it's a bit greasier than what they thought. But look, Dave Stedman really putting the power down there. Cody doing a real good job getting up on the inside there, transitioning the car really nicely, but bit of a mix-up there on the first run straight as they come into the section there.
Yeah, there really was. A little bit of contact to start off. Would that have affected Dave initially? Wondering what's going on there. Why there's that bit of contact?
Well, they both initiate quite nicely into the first section. Pushing a bit wider through there. Obviously still a little bit greasier than they anticipated. Getting to that inner clip and pushing out wide, but they both missed that first inner clip. But Cody doing what he should, and that is following Dave. Look, Dave's washed really wide here. He's using Dave as as a mirroring clipping point. That's the word. Dave will not give him a Cody Pullenberry an inch here. Cody did a really good chase run just then, right on the back bumper of Dave Steedman. So no doubt we will see a good roll in reverse here.
Yeah, you see the way Dave Steedman was looking over it. Cody there as well, eyeing him up. Battle's about to begin. Cody leading us away very, very shortly with Dave Steedman. Here they go.
Yeah, listen to Cody out the gate, trying to get as much drive as he can. Flicks the car, different entry to everyone else, grabbing a lot of handbrake as he comes into the first sector, but look at him, on throttle already. Dave getting right close, up on the inside there, and Cody Pullenberry, bit of a messy chase just there. Cody having a few bobbles in that section, but very good lead run by both those drivers. Cody getting right on the throttle really early into corner one there.
Let's just see this replay. Was there contact from Dave in behind there? The bumper's obviously hanging off Cody's car there.
So decel zone here. Now Cody needs to be on throttle. So right here, if he's not on throttle and there's contact, why is there contact? What happened to Cody? Was his transition slower? Was there something different? You've got to look at all those different points, especially for the judges. This is the awesome. Look at the wee bobble there by Dave. Didn't get out as wide as he need to. A little bit of a transition touch there. Not too bad, really didn't upset Cody too bad, but I would have to say Cody has a bit of an advantage right there. The last round of the top four. 1, 2, 3. Cody Pullenberry goes through to the final with Bangadan. Always a learning curve for it, but let's see what goes here for our final third and fourth battle. We've got Dave Steedman up against Sean Potros as they throw it into the first section here. Nice and wide there by Dave, right on the throttle, nice and early. Sean tucking up right up on the inside here, but Dave doing an epic lead run, getting right on the throttle. Sean not quite pushing out to that outer zone there, but what a good run by both of these drivers for these conditions.
Yeah,
wow.
Real solid run for both. No real big mistakes in there at all. Nice and smooth by both drivers.
Yeah, Sean transitioning earlier into that first Century Batteries clipping zone, getting up onto the rear quarter of Dave Steedman. Dave getting on throttle nice and early. Look at him pulling that way and just doing a real good clean line. What he's been doing all weekend. Look, on throttle, tucked in a little bit, probably pushed a little bit far left on that, but transitioned nicely up over the hill on the throttle and pushed out wide. So a good run by both of these drivers out there as they will switch things up. But look at these guys. They're ready to come right back into the action as we send it off here for the second part of our third and fourth battle. Come on, Andrew, run this one down for us as we take off.
This weekend, Potros lead us away from the Valvoline start line. Out to the the entry zone there, back out to the outside. Very, very close for Dave. He's very tight in there. Stay nice and tight to that first clipping point. Flicking back the other way, up over the Repco fleck there, out nice and wide. This is going to be a tough one for the judges here. Good run by both drivers.
Yeah, that was a tricky one. I think like what they said had happened before. Fanger got caught up. See, Sean grabs the handbrake, caught Dave out. Dave didn't know obviously he was going to handbrake, bobbled him a little bit, gave him that hesitation where he was going to accelerate. We'd be talking about this before. Obviously then the next part of the section, Sean does very well through that centre part, but through here, little bit of a bobble there by Dave, trying to gather it back up as he had that hesitation coming into the first sector, but both drivers coming up over that crest and out to that outer zone. There it is right there. A little bit of a bobble there by Dave as he come into the section. Hopefully we can get the start of this replay where it really shows how the small bobbles did happen. So it's gonna, I would hate to be those judges right now. It is a tough one out there. There was a few mistakes by both drivers and both chase, so no doubt they'll be probably going down to who did the best lead run. So
yeah, and Dave's lead run was certainly very solid there, wasn't it? So which way is this going to go for third position?
you said it. Well, they've got a result here, so let's see what Mark O'Hara and Joel Counter say. 1, 2, 3 to Dave Steadman gets the win.
Congratulations, mate. Look, we want to know, how are you feeling?
I'm really, really pumped right now, to be honest. I really thought that was, you know, sort of on the fence, so I'm real stoked to take that one.
So you're going to contemplate taking up ice skating, mate? Because you look like you're pretty good at it out there.
Terrible conditions, but for the most part, my battles are actually mostly dry, so I was quite lucky in that regard.
You've got to be stoked. 3rd place in round 3. Great for the championship as well.
Yeah, finally some decent points, so yeah, let's move on to Mainfield and get some more.
Let's see how we go, how we've got here today with the battle tree. Today it went down. We had Dave Steadman take out Jordan Joyce in that one. Cody Pullenberry taking out Jesse Greenslade, jumping through to those two. Dave Steadman opting, Cody Pullenberry taking him out. That's the final now for Finger Dan Woolhouse. We had Finger take out James McManaway. Then he went through Danham Templeman. And now we're looking for the final battle for Cody Pullenberry and Finger Dan Woolhouse. Here we go. The Valvoline D1NZ final battle here at round 3, Hampton Downs. Let's go for the Launchmaster Willie. 1, 2, 3, let's send it. Here we go. Finger Dan leading out Cody Pullenberry. Look at Cody right on the back bumper of Finger as he throws it into the section. Nice transition into that outer zone, pushing a little bit wide. Big contact through there for Cody on Finger Dan's car. They're staying in it. They're not budging off. Andrew, what a crazy first part of the section for both of those drivers.
Wow, there was absolutely no backing out there. Obviously, Finger Dan ended up very, very wide in that first, missing that first clipping point, and then slowed up to come back in, and that's where that contact happened.
Let's watch this here on the Repco replay. Finger coming in very fast, washing a bit wide. Cody had nowhere to go, made contact. Wow, whose fault is that? He got on throttle, Finger was on throttle. Cody really should have slowed up on this one. That's going to be a tough one for the judges to call because look, Finger was on throttle. Cody just coming too fast, meant to give that lead driver the room that they need. A little bit of a mistake there by the young fella, creating a bit of contact, but look at them both staying in it. Cody on the line he needed to be. Finger come back into the track.
That creates a real awkward one, doesn't it? You know, one's on the line where they need to be, the other one's run a bit wide, but on throttle. You know, they're both doing what they can in that situation. And as we're listening here as well, that it sounds like Finger Dan might have gone into the wrong lane for the start of that. Led the battle when he shouldn't have.
Oh, he shouldn't have too. Cody was meant to lead that.
Changes the...
Cody was meant to lead that. Qualified 4th. Finger Dan qualified in 6th there. So, bit of a mix-up there by the lads. Not too sure how they're going to figure these ones out. That's going to be a different one. Here we go again. We've got to reset it. They're on the right side. But here we go, ladies and gentlemen, just to mix things up. The finals time right now for the Valvoline D1NZ round 3. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Launchmaster Willie sends them off. Cody Pullenberry leads out Finger Dan Woolhouse. And the final battle here, look at Finger right on the back bumper here. Cody throwing it into that first section. Nice and wide. Finger pulling away a little bit. Cody pulling away a little bit, getting to that clipping zone as he did need to. Running up over that hill there. Real clean line there by Cody. Pulling a bit of a gap on Finger through there.
That was a real clean lead run there by him. Wow, what a run. No mistakes by the looks of that. That's game on. Here's the replay.
Yeah, let's analyse that. Cody grabbing the handbrake, rotating the car, tucking the nose in here nicely. Finger doing the same, just having a little bit of a gap coming up over the hill here. Cody ran a little bit wide on that that inner clip if you wanted to really pick it. And then same with Finger, not quite getting out to that outer zone, but both of them tucking the nose in here, transitioning nicely, running up over the hill here. Cody driving away down there, getting the length and getting to that outer zone. But here we go. So Cody a little bit wide on that first clip, as we just seen there. Banger nice and tight on that second clip. So really doing a nice qualifying run as such, because there was a bit of gap. But this is the second part of this final battle here, as they start out from the Valvoline start line. Banger Dan will lead out Cody Pullenberry. Watch this battle. This is going to be action-packed. Cody be all over the back end of Fangadan as they throw it into this first section. Fanga rotating to angle really nicely. Into the car. Look at the angle he's throwing into that third section. Cody doing so well coming up on the inside. A little bit of a bobble there from Fanga trying to drive out to that outer zone, but woo!
Wow, what a chase as well by Cody Pullenberry there. Great run by both drivers. Once again, the judges will have their work cut out with this one.
Wow, without a doubt. We've really got to look at from that bird's eye view. That is going to be the key teller right now for us. But look at Fanga putting the car exactly where the judges want. Rotating the angle quite a lot up over the hill. And then pulling it out as he drove down. But look at him, a little bit wider here. Tucks nice and tight on that inner clip there. Rotates the angle, opens the door for Cody to come up on the inside. Now, if we can, we'll go to that bird's eye view replay. That would be the ultimate teller. Here it is here, Andrew. Cody a little bit shallower on that outer zone. Didn't get to it. Runs right up on the inside here. Little bit of a bobble through there as he transitions right up on the inside. Pushing wide. Whew.
Wow.
That is a tight battle. I would not want to be the judges right now there.
All right, well, congratulations to our podium. Of course, we know who all three are. What I'm going to do is I'm going to send this man here in third place up to the podium, and let's work out which one of these two men took it out. This week, we're going to go straight to number one. So what we'll do is we'll get Rod McLean from Valvoline to go up and present the trophy for third place. That is third place, but in second place, Cody Pullenberry, and your winner, Fanga Dan Woolhouse. Congratulations, mate. You took that one out. You battled hard.
Yeah, it's been a pretty tough day. I just want to pretty much apologise to my crew and Nicole and that. Like, it was pretty stressful this morning, and like we had a few issues with the car and stuff. So that was just, I was just stressing out. I was like, man, we're like, you know, putting so much effort into this and stuff. So yeah, big sorry to them, but they, you know, they put me through it and got me on this top step. So, and to all my brand partners, wouldn't be here without them.